There are many programs that shape young leaders across the nation. But which one shapes them best? Which one goes further, deeper, louder? Some questions are open to debate. This one is not. There is nothing like this. This isn't just a camp. It's not a summer program. And calling it a week is an understatement. It's a proving ground, a tradition, a brotherhood, a force. This is the power of democracy at full speed. This is what happens when the best and brightest of Arkansas step out of their comfort zones and step into their potential. One campus, 1 week, 600 stories colliding. It's elections and legislation, it's handshakes and heartbreaks, victories and losses, growth, grit, and grit again. It's terrifying, and it's thrilling, and it's real. Because at Arkansas Boys State, there's no script, no safety net, no rewind button, just a state to lead, a city to build, a story to write. This is where leaders are made. This is where futures begin. This is where it happens. Welcome to the 84th session. Welcome to the halls of mock government and real transformation. Welcome to the week that shapes a lifetime. This is Arkansas Boys State.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Arkansas American Legion 84th session of our Boys State. You're sitting in seats where tens of thousands of former delegates and alumni for 83 past years have sat. Congratulations and welcome to the club. There are more than 10,000 junior men across this state. Only 600 were selected to be involved in this program, and you, my friends, are part of that number. So let's get the most out of this week. I have the privilege and honor of serving as the executive director of the American Legion Boys State program for the last 7 years. And I'm grateful to our commission, which you will get a chance to meet in a moment, for entrusting me with this opportunity to lead such a great and prestigious youth leadership program. I'm also proud to serve alongside 75 of the most dedicated Arkansans in this arena within the Arkansas American Legion Boys State program. That's our staff, those men who are volunteering with us. I thank them for their commitment and service to the program that we love dearly and we certainly hold closely. Thank you to the Arkansas American Legion Boys State staff, those 75 men I talked about. Gentlemen, you are blessed, and I want you to know this on the front end, with some counselors from various walks of life. They're committed to this program. They've stepped away from their families, from their jobs for a week, simply to pour into you, the future alumni of our program. We have teachers, we have lawyers, bankers, entrepreneurs, counselors, nonprofit professionals, financial consultants. You'll get a chance to hear about some of these folks in a moment. We have Harvard graduates, Howard graduates, University of Arkansas Student Government Association presidents, University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Student Government Association presidents, national debaters, former Boys Nation senators, former Boys State governors. You have fathers, you have husbands who are serving this week, all because of our experience within this program a year ago, 5 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever the number that is. I'd like to take a small moment to recognize, and I'm going to ask them to stand out, step out, and wave their hands. You have some men who are in the heather gray shirts. If you'll step out, those are our county counselors. Let's give them a round of applause. Many of these young men are in college currently or recently graduated from college. Then you have those in the blue shirts, the royal blue shirts, and that's our state counselors. Those are a little older folks in the program. If they'll stand, wave their hand, let's give them some appreciation. Next, we have some folk who have committed many, many years to this program. If I started adding up the years, we'd be in the thousands. And those are those guys in those light blue, as we call powder blue shirts. And that's our senior staff. And they serve various capacities, county senior staff, as well as operational staff from across our system. Let's give a round of applause as they stand and wave for our senior staff. I would, however, like to take a few moments to carve out some time and appreciate a few of our leaders that put on a lot of extra time and effort into this program over the last 51 weeks with a team of a lot of folks in this room to make this a reality. And that's the folks in the white shirts, which we call our core leadership team. You can find all of these folks in your handbook within your program there. I'm going to start out with a young man who has spent 37 years working with this program, was a delegate back in 1988. Is from the big city of Lone Oak, Arkansas. He currently is an educational specialist at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, a TRIO program that is none other than the deputy director, Mr. Robert Bryant, Jr. This next young man is responsible for many of the emails that you see. You get a chance to also experience the video you just experienced. He is a lot of the mastermind behind that, all the way from Pangburn, Arkansas. He's in his 11th year with the program, was a delegate sitting in your seat back in 2014, and is now the director of engagement for our program, but serves as a chief of staff at the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville, Mr. Caleb Turner. Even before you stepped foot onto campus, you had to make a choice around which school of education or school of instruction you would like to be involved in. And our director of instruction has been with us for over 17 years, was a delegate back in 2006, currently resides in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so when I say these young men drop their lives for a week, they also travel in from across the country. We're not just all from the state of Arkansas. We lived in Arkansas. We come from different places across the country. He's in Raleigh, North Carolina, serving as our director of instruction, is the chief conduct risk officer for Truist Financial, and his hometown is the big city of Camden, Arkansas, Mr. David Satterfield. Next young man is a 2001 delegate for the Arkansas American Legion Boy State program. He has been serving for 24 years within the program, various roles. He started out as a junior counselor. All of us on this day started out as a junior counselor, went into the role of a senior counselor, and working now as the core team leadership. He is from Farmington. He has been married for the last 19 years, if my notes serve me correctly. Hope I said that right. And he has a 16-year-old daughter, and he told me to make sure you know she has a boyfriend. And he is the director of sales for Rockline Industry. Let's give it up for our director of operations, Mr. Craig Depew. Our final director, and I hope you recognize, I did that in alphabetical order, according to the role, is the director of staff. He is a 2013 participant of the program, been with the program and serving for 11 years. He currently resides in New York City, and his hometown is Hot Springs, Arkansas. He is a senior consultant with Huron Consulting Group, Mr. Andrew Brodsky. I did do some quick math of just the core team alone. For these 6 men, myself included, there is over 127 years of Boys State experience. We come back each week, each year, in order to impact lives on purpose. And this group of people will begin working on this next year's program as soon as we're done. So this hard work and dedication is for you. I shared it was 28 years ago that I sat in these seats. And I will admit I wore a yellow shirt within McDermott County. And what I have gotten myself into was the question I had on my head on that first Sunday evening. What is this? Back then, 900 guys, today 600 guys. What is this that I'm getting engaged in is the question you may be asking as well. And I'll put out onto you 2 big themes that was true 28 years ago and certainly are still true today. You are amongst the best and the brightest. I believe that, hope you believe that as well. But also, this is a week. I don't want you to believe me when I say this. I just want you to know that I said it and then remember it on Friday. But this is truly a week that will shape a lifetime. You will hear that over and over again throughout our time together, and I hope that you will hear it again. Don't have to believe it just yet, but remember we said it on Friday. But you certainly are amongst one of the best and brightest. And I can attest to both of those things. I have great friends that I still have today because of this program, and the memories that I have are still very vivid even 28 years later of my experience in this program, and it's truly shaped who I am today. The man I am that you see in front of you today and you're going to learn over the next week is certainly been shaped very heavily by the American Legion Boys State program. So here is what you can expect from the American Legion Boys State program. I want to talk through the learning goals. We're coming together on purpose, and our purpose is simple. It is simple. One, that when you leave here, we want you to ensure that you're able to think critically about your views and communicate those views more effectively. That's goal number 1. Our second goal is we want you to leave here and to also lead others, particularly in the pursuit of the common and collective good. Leading for good is goal number 2. Our third goal is to participate in American civic, social, commercial, and political institutions as lifelong leaders and engaged citizens. Simple goals, and we're going to drive those home throughout our week and throughout our time together. Then our final goal, I hope that you'll leave here with some relationships that are with those who may have different views than yours and build true relationships. My challenge to you as we get involved this week is to simply do that. Get involved. You will get out of this program what you put into it. Let's make it a great week, a week of learning, a week of growing. Gentlemen, welcome to the 84th session of the Arkansas American Legion Boys State program. At this time, I get a chance to bring up to the podium the chairman of the group that hires me each year. That we have a commission, which in essence is our board of directors. Please welcome to the podium with a resounding and a very loud applause, Mr. Lynn Cotton.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to the 84th Annual American Legion Arkansas Boys State program as well. I want to give a special thank you tonight to Dr. Houston Davis, who is the president of UCA and a good friend. Also to Mr. Jeremy Gillum, who's not here but will be here all through the week. He's their governmental relations person here. Mr. Gillum was also the Speaker of the House of Representatives for a long time. Now, if you're like me when I attended, I'd say, what is that? Well, you have 100 in the House of Representatives and they elect one to be the main guy, and that was Mr. Gillum. But they've been very good help to us. They've been a good partner, and we thank them both. Our program started here 50 years ago, 1975. We came to UCA. I also want to thank the City of Conway for the city's continued support to our program and for helping us each year to be successful. I'd like to introduce our commissioners. We have two of them won't be here. They'll be here tomorrow probably. But anyway, we'll start first with Mr. Ralph Sims from North Little Rock. He's our Vice Chairman of the Commission, and he's also the Arkansas American Legion Americanism Chairman. You have Mr. Bill Eaton. Bill is our treasurer from Russellville. Bill is a past city councilman, and he's also the past mayor of Russellville. I refer to him a lot as Mr. Veteran of Pope County because he does so much for the veterans in that area. Mr. Richard Carble is not here tonight. This is Carble County, and hopefully he'll be here tomorrow. But Richard is our secretary. He was a 1961 Boy State delegate. He a retired Arkansas State University professor. He was an Arkansas State University Distinguished Alumni, Arkansas Boy State Hall of Fame, and Arkansas Military Hall of Fame. The reason I'll mention these, and I'm going to mention some staff here in just a minute, I want you to know what kind of people that you're dealing with. We have a top-notch staff here. Mr. Nate Todd, which I call Colonel Todd. I had the opportunity to work with Colonel Todd on the Arkansas Veterans Commission. He was at that time, he was the director of the Arkansas Veterans Affairs. That's the main organization in Arkansas. They call it now the Secretary. And he also serves on the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees. I'm the chairman. I'm Lynn Cotton. I was a 1962 delegate. I'm from Dardanelle, and I have the honor of having a county named after me, Cotton County. All of the commissioners, we're all veterans, and we're all American Legionnaires. This is going to be a wonderful week for you. It's going to be a life-changing experience, and I can assure you some of you are going to tell me that this week. The reason I know that is, number one, I've heard it every year. I've been here for 28 years. I've heard it every year. It's life-changing. But also, I know firsthand, when I was a delegate in 1962, what it did for me. It really changed my life of public service, and it has carried through for me from 1962 to today, and I certainly enjoy public service. One of our past directors made a comment one time, and I'd like to mention it to you, because some of you are sitting here tonight on Sunday night and you're thinking of all the things that you could be doing, or maybe tomorrow what you could be doing. If you'll give us 2 days here, you won't want to leave. But you have to leave Friday afternoon. We're not going to keep you past then, but I think you're really going to enjoy the program. I want to tell you about some of the people you're sitting here with tonight. Now, they won't be the same name, but they're going to be the same people. They've been through our program before. 4-star General Wesley Clark, who was shot 4 times in Vietnam when was awarded the Silver Star. He was a Rhodes Scholar. He was a valedictorian of his United States Military Academy class. He was a 1961 Boy State delegate, and he was in the Boy State Hall of Fame. Former Governor and President of the United States, Bill Clinton. 1963 Boy State delegate. He went to Boys Nation and Boy State Hall of Fame. Boys Nation is where we're going to send 2 of y'all at the end of the week to Washington, D.C. And you will meet with our United States senators and congressmen. It's all paid expense by the American Legion, and hopefully you'll be able to meet with the President of the United States. Some of you may not remember this, but it was President Clinton. When he went there in Boys Nation, he was shaking the hands of President Kennedy in the Rose Garden. When he ran for president, he used that a lot. This is the same thing, Boys Nation. A former Chief of Staff to President Bill Clinton, Mac McClarty, he was Boy State Governor when he was here. He's also in the Hall of Fame. Former Governor, presidential candidate, and now our United States Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. He was our Boy State Governor in our Boy State Hall of Fame. United States Senator John Bozeman, a delegate in our Boy State Hall of Fame, and United States Senator Tom Cotton, a 1994 Boy State delegate, also went to Boys Nation and is in our Hall of Fame. There are numerous state representatives and senators. You're going to see one later on this week that you're really going to like. He was a delegate here and he was a counselor. His name is Brian Ebbings. He's like Mr. Gillum. He is presently the Speaker of the House, number 1 out of 100. He's from Cabot. I think you're going to find him to be a good speaker to us. We have successful judges, businessmen, community leaders, school administrators. We've had successful teachers, and coaches have benefited from our program. I'd like to mention 3 commissioners that are no longer here. I do this every year. And they were mentors to me when I was here. Womack County, Delta Womack from Star City. Mr. Womack was here for 55 years. Hanner County, Mr. Austin Hanner, a mentor to me and one of my best friends. He was from North Little Rock and Piercy, I think is the way you say that, 53 years. Rooks County, Mr. Wesley Rooks, he was from Gillette and Little Rock, 46 years. Those 3 men had a combined total of 154 years of service. They were here when I was here as a 16-year-old delegate back in 1962. Now this is what I'm really going to enjoy doing for you. I want you to get to know your junior and senior counselors. I want you to ask them the story. What do you do? But I want to mention, and I just pulled up a few. I did this last year. Don't do the same ones. First of all, I'd like to talk to you about Dr. Lloyd Jackson. Dr. Jackson came here as a 17-year-old. I met him. He came up here on a bus from southern Arkansas. They dropped him off at Hendrix College. He carried his bedroll and all his clothes. He wanted to be at Boy State this much. From Hendrix College, carried him over to here. There were about 1,100 young men at the time here. Dr. Jackson was elected to Boys Nation. Went up there again, 2 people, and met with the President of the United States. He's our executive director. He's been a junior counselor, a senior counselor. He's a graduate of Henderson State University where he majored in mathematics. He was the president of the student body, not 1 year, but 2 years. Everyone who's ever been a president of a college or university student body, everyone I've always seen has been successful. And you can see with Dr. Jackson what he's done. He was the deputy superintendent of Hot Springs School District, assistant superintendent of Kansas City Public Schools, the Henderson State University vice chancellor of advancement, and he is now the Texarkana High School superintendent. Dr. Jackson is a very, very good friend of mine, and he's exactly what we needed to run this program. He's probably the best director, I think, that we could have. I would put Dr. Jackson actually up against anybody in the United States. I would say, you lay out somebody for me, let me lay out Dr. Jackson for you. No one's going to beat him. Senior counselor in Cotton County, Keegan Robinson. You don't want to get a wrestling match with this fella. He's big as a bear. He's a standout young man. He is an officer with the Federal Police Department. He will be a resource officer this fall with the Federal High School. I think you're really going to enjoy meeting him. He is just like all our staff there, he's just a standout. But I wanted to mention Mr. Robinson. Jackson Connor. Now you may not see Jackson here. He's here, but you may not see him. He's in our office a lot up there. A few years ago, he came to me. He went to the University of Oklahoma. He made 1B while he was in school. And I asked him, I said, I said, you played football for Oklahoma. Well, he didn't play football, but he's big enough to play. But anyway, he wanted to intern for somebody, so we set him up to intern through Senator Cotton's office. He was there for like 2 to 4 weeks. Once he got through there, he got his foot in the door, and now he's in Washington, D.C. He works for United States Congressman Bruce Westerman. If you think you want to do something like that, he would be a good man to talk to as far as an internship. J.P. Girahan. J.P. just came back this year. J.P.'s from Cabot. He went to Boys Nation as well. He is also the Womack County senior counselor. When he was at the University of Arkansas, he was the student body president while he was there. In 2022, he was a Fulbright scholar in Africa, where he was a teacher. In 2023, he was in China as a student there. If you want to know something about international travels or whatever, he'd be a good one to talk to. Coleman Warren is the one that I was reading a few years ago. Coleman's from Farmington, and I was looking in the sports section, and I saw about a third of a page dedicated to Coleman. He was the academic athlete of the year for that particular year. He is also our Dean of Commerce now on our instruction team. He was president of the student body at the University of Arkansas. He earned a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering and political science. He got a master's in philosophy and comparative social policy at Oxford University. He's the only student at the University of Arkansas to ever be a Rhodes Scholar as well as a Harry S. Truman Scholar. A standout young man, and these are the kind of people that are going to be leading you this week. Last but not least is a fellow that I invited to come back this week. He'll be here through Wednesday. If you are thinking about military service or you're thinking about a military academy, he's the one you want to talk to. His name is John Rex Spivey. John Rex was in the Final Four for our boys' nation. If you get in the Final Four, you're going to be a successful person in your life. It's hard. You start out and you go through elections. It's hard to get there in the Final Four. I saw him after he left here. His family's from Rogers, but he went to Subiaco Academy where he quarterbacked the Subiaco Trojans. I have the honor of announcing football games at Dardanelle, so I got to see him play that fall. Dardanelle was a really good football team. Subiaco was not quite at that level. But I watched John Rex complete passes after passes after passes as a quarterback for that team. I knew he was going to be a standout because then he was selected to go to the United States Naval Academy. While he was in the Naval Academy, his last year, now guys, this is an elite group of people, of young men and young women. He was selected to be the president of his senior class at the Naval Academy. John Rex went on to fly helicopters in the Navy. So he's here, and if you want to do something, if you want to know some information about the military, he's one that you want to talk to. Thank you for letting me talk about these. These are just a few. Next year I'll have a different crew that we'll talk about. But I want to thank you for your participation, and I want to congratulate you on being selected as a delegate to the American Legion Arkansas Boy State program. Have a good week.
Well, gentlemen, at the end of this week, you're going to select a governor. Boy State 2024 elected a governor, and that governor, one of their major primary roles is to come back and be the representative of that delegation to you all and with you all during this week. He will be leading as the governor until you elect your governor. I want to introduce a young man from the Hot Springs area, a graduate of Lake Hamilton High School, Mr. Colton Quibido.
Good evening, Boy State. How's everyone doing? Good. My name is Colton Quibido, and I have the honor of serving as this year's governor. As most of y'all know, I'm from Hot Springs. I went to Lake Hamilton High School. Can I see my Lake Hamilton High School people in here? It's a loud crowd. It's a privilege for me to stand before y'all today as Arkansas Boy State Governor, to represent a program that has truly changed my life and guided my life through senior year. Boy State is more than just a simulation of government. It's a powerful experience that teaches leadership, service, and the importance of civil engagement. It challenges young men to rise to the occasion, to listen, to lead with purpose, and become better overall young men. As a delegate last year, I made lifelong friendships and learned many life lessons. While y'all are delegates this year, I challenge y'all to do one thing, and that's to be present and intentional with your time here. Whatever you put into this program is what you will get out of it. And it's a brotherhood, and it has a bunch of camaraderie that you will have for the rest of your life. And I'm grateful to be your governor this year and to be part of such a wonderful opportunity with so many wonderful young men. Because every single young man in here is a leader in their community. No matter what background they are a leader. And everyone in here, I believe, are brothers. Thank you for the chance to speak with you today. And let's go Boy State. I'm so excited, everyone. Everyone, now I have the honor of introducing the president of UCA, Dr. Houston Davis. Dr. Houston D. Davis is the 11th president of the University of Central Arkansas, serving since 2017. Under his leadership, UCA has achieved record enrollment growth, launched its first comprehensive capital campaign, surpassing the $10 million goal, and opened the state-of-the-art Wingate Center for Fine Arts in fine and performing arts following a historic $20 million gift. In 2024, he introduced the UCA Commitment, a groundbreaking debt-free education initiative for the qualifying Arkansas families. Nationally recognized in higher education leadership, Dr. Davis serves on the NCAA Board of Governors and Division I Board of Directors, and chairs of Division I Finance Committee. His previous roles include interim president of Kennesaw State University, executive vice chancellor of the University System of Georgia, and academic affairs leaders for Oklahoma's higher education system. He holds a PhD from Vanderbilt University, an MED from Tennessee State University, and a BS from the University of Memphis. Now welcome to the stage, President of UCA, Dr. Houston Davis.
Well, thank you very much, Governor. It is wonderful to have all of you here today. I want to welcome you to the University of Central Arkansas and welcome you to Conway, Arkansas. It was about 35 years ago. There's been a lot of reminiscing about different points in time that I was a delegate to the American Legion Tennessee Boys State. And I was sitting there, much as you are, trying to think about what am I doing? What will I get out of this week? Why am I here? And I think at this moment on that day, it was just representing my high school in Clarksville, Tennessee. But as I finished that week, I realized that I was a part of a much greater fabric of opportunity to serve my state and serve my nation. The growth and opportunities that you're going to have as you look at the week ahead are opportunities to blossom and see yourselves doing even greater things than you might have thought before you even started this activity today. There's a lot of that, though, that's about choice. I want to congratulate all of you because you wouldn't be here if you were not leaders and if you didn't display academic talents in the classroom and probably are a little community service minded. The greatest honors that we give here at the University of Central Arkansas reside in something we call the Purple Society. Those are students that have chosen to give themselves the most in the classroom, displaying academic excellence. But they've also been our students that have chosen to step forward and plant themselves firmly in leadership roles. And then they've chosen to be a part of something bigger than themselves by being committed to community service and service learning and giving of themselves to their fellow man. I salute all of you for the fact that you were chosen to represent your community, to be here for what is a very important conversation about our state and about our country. But I want to challenge you to choose to lean in to that opportunity for personal growth, for yourself, for your community, for our state, and for our country. When you choose to lean in to those opportunities, that's when you extract the most that you can from it. We're proud of you, but we're most excited about what you'll do in the future. Thank you very much for choosing to be a part of this very important work. Thank you for representing your communities the way that you do. Have a great Boys State. Have a wonderful week. Congratulations.
The prophet Ezekiel, he said, I searched the land. I looked to and fro, looking for a man to stand in the gap so that I would not have to destroy the land. And yet, he found no one. Today, we are looking for men to stand in the gap at Boys State. For 37 years, I've been a part of this most incredible program, and I work with some of the best men in the United States. What we have comprised this week is really off the charts. You've heard about them on paper, but they're here with you. It is a daunting challenge. Isaiah told me I'm not a public speaker, I don't know about running for office. You may have that same fear. You may have those thoughts running through your mind. But I think you would have to prove me wrong. But I think that you're here on purpose this week. So I'm challenging you to get involved. Edmund Burke said the only way that evil can triumph is for good men to do nothing. So I'm looking for some good men. And I close with this. I have only but a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. Give account if I abuse it. But just a tiny little minute with all of eternity wrapped up in it. We need you. This is your time. Let's go, and I'm glad you're here.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Arkansas American Legion Boys State Program, and as your fellow Director of Operations, I'd like to familiarize you with a few items as we kick off this 84th session of Boys State. First of all, utilize your delegate handbook, which you have right here, and your phones, the HOOVA app. If you're not on it, please see your county counselor, and we'd be happy to make sure you get connected on that app for your digital handbook. All the key information throughout the week is going to be provided in those two forms as you experience Boys State. All right, prior to your arrival, you have agreed to be 100% present throughout the week. So in the unlikely event that someone here needs to leave, our office headquarters will be utilized for the checkout or check-in process. As far as our rules of conduct, I'm going to direct you to page 10 of the handbook. Please turn to them really quick, and I'd like you to look at those. As again, I explain the rules of conduct as we are here at Boys State. They're very self-explanatory, so guess what? I'm not going to read them word for word this evening. Also, election resources are going to be on page 32 through 47. Now, you may notice we don't have all those pages in your printed handbook. We do apologize for that, but I think it's a good teaching lesson to let you know that we've sent out an announcement on HOOVA just in the last 10 minutes to let you know that we do have those provided in digital form, and we want to make sure that you have access to those before we get elections underway this week. So again, there's going to be a lot of things coming at you this week. I really encourage you to look at HOOVA and use that app to get the latest and greatest information. Also, your safety is our #1 priority as we experience Boys State, and there is inclement weather, as you know, like literally right now, timing's perfect, forecasted throughout the week. So please be prepared for continual updates from your county counselors through the app. Now, I am excited. I think if we get through tomorrow, there's a 95% chance of rain tomorrow. After that, it declines for the rest of the week. And if it's correct, it shouldn't be over 81 degrees all week. Now, that in itself is a blessing, I promise you. 81 degrees. All right, so as you've already been challenged, we've planned for everyone here to get involved in some form or fashion this week, and I'm very blessed to have a team that can help make that possible. Not everyone here likes to run for offices or give a speech, and that's okay, because we have other things you can do. The Office of the Secretary of State or the headquarters will be at Bear Hall. Again, the Operations Services team is based there. Should you need anything at all, that is a place to go, and we encourage you to step in during free time. Also, we have recreational activities by Coach Philip Proctor. More information of that to come. Tomorrow morning we'll start our recreation daily. Also, meals in the Christian cafeteria. Mr. Ernie Higgs, we appreciate him. He's going to help you get fed 3 times a day. And also we've got our ARBS market, which will be open 2 times daily starting tonight. So please plan on coming through that, and you can get snacks and other merchandise as well for Arkansas Boys State. Other than that, that's all I have, so I want to encourage you to enjoy the week, and we look forward to this being the best Arkansas Boys State yet. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm back. I would like to start off by introducing our keynote speaker for tonight, Mr. James Sturch. James Sturch is from Batesville, Arkansas. He is a high school teacher and former state legislator. A graduate of Southside High School, he earned both a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science and a Master's of Public Administration from the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Sturch began his political career in 2014 when he was elected to the Arkansas House of Representatives for District 63, becoming the youngest legislator in the General Assembly at 23. He served 2 terms before being elected to the Arkansas Senate in 2018, representing District 19, again setting a record for one of the youngest senators in Arkansas history. During his tenure, Sturch was known for his advocacy in education, including efforts to support early childhood educators in creating the Concurrent Credit Challenge Scholarship that allowed high school students from all walks of life to take college classes or earn some workforce certifications. Sturch co-founded the bipartisan Arkansas Future Caucus, focusing on issues pertinent to younger generations such as student loan debt and workforce development. After his time in the legislature, he returned to full-time teaching at Southside High School, where he continues to educate students in civics and economics. Sturch resides in Batesville with his wife, Macy, and remains an active volunteer in his community. Now welcome to the stage your keynote speaker, James Sturch.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's an incredible honor to stand before you today at the opening of the Arkansas Boys State, one of the most respected leadership programs in our country. I know from personal experience that you're not just young men attending a camp, as has already been said. You are the future leaders of our cities, our state, and our country. And this week will be a challenge to you to think deeply about what kind of leader you want to be. And I want to take this opportunity to speak briefly to you about leadership, not just as a title, but as a way of life. In a world that's evolving faster than ever before, leadership today requires more than just wearing a suit behind a desk. But let me start by telling you something that you won't often hear. By all the odds that one can muster, I wasn't supposed to be here. I didn't grow up in a politically connected family. I wasn't born with a last name that opened doors. My parents didn't have friends in high places. What they had was faith. They worked hard and hoped for a better tomorrow. They taught me the value of doing the right thing even when no one else was watching, and of treating people with respect. I carried those lessons into every classroom I walked into as a student. I took school seriously because I knew my parents wanted me to have more opportunities than they did, namely a college education. And as I went off to college and later as a legislator, I saw firsthand how leadership is not something you inherit. It's not some magical trait that you're born with. It's built day by day, choice by choice. So if you're sitting here tonight thinking, well, I'm not really the leader type, let me stop you right there. Leadership doesn't belong to a type. It belongs to anyone with the courage to care more about others than they do their own comfort. It belongs to people who step forward when it would be easier to step back. And yes, it belongs to young people just like you. We are living in a time of seismic cultural and political shifts. Technology is changing the way we work, the way we communicate, and the way we understand truth, what it is, where it comes from, and whose word we can trust. Some people look at all this and they see chaos. I see opportunity. Leadership today doesn't mean standing in front of the line barking orders. It means learning how to listen when it's easier to shout. It means understanding before you judge. It means being willing to change, not in your principles, but in your methods. When I stepped into public office as a 23-year-old legislator, I quickly realized that a lot of my job wasn't about passing bills. It was about building trust with people who didn't vote for me, with people who disagreed with me, and with people who didn't even think I belonged in the room. And I earned that trust, not by pretending I had all the answers, but being willing to ask questions, by also being willing to listen to others and genuinely care about their opinion. Let's be honest. It's not easy to lead in a culture where everyone has a platform and opinions are formed in 280 characters. But the truth is, leadership isn't about popularity. It's about principle. You'll be tempted to conform, to play it safe, to say what people want to hear, not what people need to hear. Don't fall for that. Have the courage to be the lone voice in the room if that voice is grounded in conviction, but also have the humility to recognize when you might be wrong. That balance, conviction and humility, is the heart of authentic leadership. Being a social studies teacher has taught me more about leadership than any other experience ever could. You can ask some of my students that are here tonight. Why do you think teaching would teach me so much? Because teaching puts you in a position where every day you have to lead without authority. You don't lead with power, you lead with purpose. You lead by example. I've had students from every background imaginable. Some who came from privilege, some who came from poverty, some who are confident, and some who are broken. And every one of them is looking for the same thing: someone who believes in them. That's what leaders do. They believe in people, even when those people don't yet believe in themselves. That belief is contagious. It starts a chain reaction. And before you know it, you're not just teaching history, you're making it. So here's my challenge. Among the other challenges you've heard tonight, here's my challenge for you this week at Boys State. Don't just play the roles. Don't just run for office or write a bill because it sounds impressive. Use this experience to find your voice, to test your ideas, to listen, really listen to people who might see the world differently than you do. Because you're inheriting a world that needs leaders willing to learn and ready to write a new future story. Leaders who are not afraid of change, but who can navigate it with courage, wisdom, and compassion. Leaders who don't wait for permission to lead, but take initiative wherever they are, with whatever they have, to help whoever is in need. I started this speech by saying I wasn't supposed to be here, but here I am, a proud Boys State alumni. And that's the last thing I'll leave you with. You belong in the public arena, not because of where you come from, but because of who you choose to become. So step forward, speak up, serve well, and lead, not for the applause, not for the title, but for the people who need you to show them what's possible. Thank you, and welcome to Arkansas Boys State.
Thank you so much, Mr. James Sturch. Remind them about program.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them since we're finished early.
We are fixing to dismiss early, so I would like to say that all band and choir and color guard meetings would start immediately after we dismiss. Band and choir will be in here, and color guard will be outside by the steps. Okay, now we are going to retire the colors. There's going to be a few commands that I'm going to give that are going to be given following the retiring of the colors. Whenever I say hand salute, you're going to put your hand over your heart like this. Now I'd like everyone to stand. Boys State, attention. hand, salute. Retire colors. Retire colors. Two. Now we're going to proceed with the Boy State Creed, which is on page 9 of your handbook. Please follow along.
Just a second to get there.
Yeah.
Let's read that together.
American citizenship is my most priceless possession. I believe in the constitutional form of government of the United States of America, which guarantees me as a citizen equal opportunity, equal educational rights, and the right to worship God as I choose. It is my obligation to participate in, contribute my effort to the civic and political welfare of my community, state, and nation. I resolve to learn and understand government and the civic needs of my community, and I hereby dedicate myself to the task of arousing and maintaining a like interest in my fellow citizens. Therefore, may the experiences of Boy State be ever with me as a reminder of my obligation to God and country. Now I'd like everyone to bow their heads and pray. Dear Lord, I thank you so much for bringing all of these community leaders with us today. All these men are from different walks of life and are coming together to be brothers. Throughout this week, I pray that you help all of us learn and become closer as brothers and brothers in Christ. Bring us closer to you, along with guiding us with our elections, our recreational activities, along with our schools of instruction. We know that you are forever with us, and just please bring us closer together this week and make sure these men have the best week of their lives at Arkansas Boys State. We pray in your name. Amen. You are now dismissed to your county counselors.